You had to pick on me. Anyway. Yes, good afternoon. I'm Patrick Moore with Waco Drone Guy. I provide aerial photography and videography services to the greater Central Texas area. This week, I am looking for 2 lucky people that want to improve their websites and upgrade their websites and just get a fresh new look on it. Again, my name is Patrick Moore, Waco Drone Guy, and let me take your photos to new heights. How's that?
I love it. I love the take your photo to new heights.
Okay.
I love it.
Does it say enough? Do I do? I mean, I'm just asking real quick.
Yeah. So the only tweak that I would give it is this is where 99% of business owners really miss is a call to action. Who do you know that needs to, or do you need to upgrade your website?
Okay.
Like, if you get them a call to action, like, I'm looking for 2 people. Do you need, or who do you know that needs? Okay. I'd love their name and number, something to just get them to do something instead of just hearing it and sitting there.
Yeah.
Some sort of like, go to my website, click for the, like, something to call them to action. And you want a strong call to action. You don't want just learn more.
Yeah.
What I mean, right? So some sort of call to action.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Hi, I'm Dora, the Real Estate Explorer with RE/MAX Syntax Realtors. I help buyers find the perfect dream and memory-making home, and sellers move forward with their life. With interest rates low now, now is the time to buy. Do you know anyone who is looking to buy or sell in the next several months? This week, I'm looking for 2 buyers, 2 sellers, or someone who is facing foreclosure to help them with the short sale, which is a lot better than a foreclosure. I would like it. I work from in the Central Texas area, from Temple to Whitney. Remember Dora, the Real Estate Explorer.
All right. What kind of, does anybody have any feedback for Dora? That was good, Dora. I love the Dora, the Real Estate Explorer. You know, I've always loved that. The one thing I would add is a call to action. Like, who do you know that's going through foreclosure now?
Oh, okay.
I need their name and number so I can help save them. I don't know if you can say that, but like, I want to help them save their credit, whatever saving from foreclosure does. I assume it ruins your credit.
It does, for 7 years.
Foreclosure or whatever. All right, Sammy.
Hello, I'm Sammy Jarrett. I'm the owner of Optimized Marketing Solutions. Our services include on-site and off-site search engine optimization, which is SEO. We manage Google business listings. Most of my clients really like our lead generation websites that we build. They funnel customers that are looking for those type of businesses to them. I recently just got a great new custom graphics and logos artist, and my company also sells promotional products where we can put your logo on just about anything you would like it to be on. You know, your car, your truck, your house, your windows, your cups, mugs, t-shirts, hats. I mean, just about anything. If you're interested in looking at the promotional products, you can go to getoptimizedswag.com, and I'm looking for anyone who's needing website work or promotional products. And if any of y'all know any, I'd be glad to take it.
All right. What kind of feedback do we have for the clean shaven? Sammy Jarrett, which I'm getting used to it, Sammy.
I don't grow back out.
What kind of feedback do we have for Sammy?
I felt like it might have been a little too long.
I think is you missed some of the other soundbite training that Christy has done for us, but be very specific. You don't feel like you have to give all of your offerings in every soundbite. Okay, so just like I didn't say all the whole list of stuff that I can do. I just narrowed it down to the stuff that I was looking for this week. So that would help you shorten it down too if you felt like it was too long.
Okay.
That's good. As small business owners, because all of us here own a business, right? What is the one thing that we sit up worrying about at night? Not finances, not cash flow. What is it? Getting noticed. Dora, there's over 750 realtors in Waco, Texas. And it's growing every single day, right? Mike, there's so many people that kill bugs. I can think of 10 off the top of my head, right?
Yeah.
How do we differentiate? That's what Sammy does. So Sammy, that's our problem as a small business owners in 2020 with all of the noise that's out there, especially today. A customer has to see our brands, the small business owner, 16 times before they pick up the stinking phone. Whereas 10 years ago, they had to see us 3 times. So that's our problem as small business owners, right, y'all? So,
Be remembered.
how can we help Sammy help us? Like, what would get our attention, shake us, and grab us and pull us in?
Oh, one thing I would say is, though, you always have to find that one catchphrase that kind of like just lets us know, well, what do you do? But at the same time, use things like joking around, because telling something funny is going to attract certain attention. Having something to show sometimes brings other attention. So having some sort of tangible object. I mean, if you're in person, you can actually pass it around, but while you're sitting there on the screen, pick it up and say, hey, I make these, and show them something. Do you want to get your name put on one of these? And then try to pull people in.
Mike, you had something that you were holding up that you're like, oh.
Yeah, this is something you got at a trade show. It's got somebody's logo on.
Yeah, you could throw that at somebody if you're in a meeting. In a Zoom call, it'd just be weird. But
Throw it at my phone person all the time.
yeah, like what could you get noticed? And that would grab everyone's attention. And you could totally be like, hey, Christy, I'm gonna throw this at you. Hey, Patrick, I'm gonna throw this at you before the meeting so they won't be so shocked. But it would grab everybody's attention because this is what everybody's doing. They're scrolling through their stinking phone, right? And Sammy, if you can figure out what that is to get noticed and grab their attention, they'll listen to your soundbite. And if you speak to that problem that a small business owner has, then you'll really captivate their attention. And that's where you can talk about the website optimization, because that's where everybody goes is Google first, right? To get to the top of Google. Then you could also talk about the promotional items. You could use the promotional items for either of your sound bites, though.
Okay.
Mike, Sandra, and then Heather.
We can't hear you, Mike.
I've been talking all this time. You couldn't hear me.
I'm sure it was good.
Yeah, it was. I'm not prepared for this. Hey, I'm Mike with ABC Home and Commercial Services, where we offer multiple services for your home or business. But it's winter time, and I want to talk about rodents, rats and mice, raccoons, squirrels. They're all looking for a place to shelter for the winter, get out of the cold. So if you hear scratching noises in your attic, you're trying to fall asleep at night, give us a call. We do total elimination and prevention, keep them from getting back in. It's Mike with the ABC Home and Commercial Services.
What kind of tidbit do you have for Mike? I love his. I can just see the mouse like clawing at stuff.
I've been doing this the whole time.
I think one thing I would say, Mike, is just what do you want this week? You know, I mean, I know you have an overarching thing of, I want to take care of these pests that are infiltrating your house during the winter, but what do you specifically want this week? What do we need to be looking to for the people that we have contacts with for you?
Right.
But it was great. It sounded great. I really liked it.
What would be a specific ask? If you hear somebody complaining about that, remember
I would think like Christy said with mine, you know, she said, do you know of anybody that has hearing the bump in the night or scratches in the attic? You know, it's not Halloween anymore.
Yeah.
Probably not a goblin or something like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can say, that's what I'm looking for this week or something like that.
And I also know that you're focusing on holiday lights right now from being in a couple meetings with you. So you can definitely use the climate of America to your favor right now.
Yeah.
Like everybody's scared, worried, fearful. I can light up your holidays with Christmas lights. Who needs joy this holiday season?
Right.
Call me for your Christmas lights.
Right in the mood.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's memorable.
That too.
Yeah. But I know it's mouse season too, because I'm seeing it all over Facebook from everyone. So
when you see it on Facebook, be sure and drop my name. Yeah.
I definitely will. It's mostly the pest people that are advertising that. So that's really like you could get a little mouse and put lights on its head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a dead one.
Santa Claus suit.
We'll take care of Santa this season.
Yeah. Okay, I got to work on that specific ask.
Sandra.
Hello. Did you know that there are 10 fatalities on Texas roads every day? Do you think that all 10 were prepared financially? My name is Sandra Barron, and I represent Primerica Financial Services, and I want to help you build your financial house. Call me at 817-455-0711 or email me at sgbarron13@sbcglobal.net, and I will help you construct you a strong financial house.
What do you guys think?
One thing I would suggest is practicing it more so that you're not reading off a piece of paper, because you can really tell when you're reading it off of something.
I know. I had sent it to a person and I just got that back. So that's why I was reading it.
Yeah, no, it's understandable. I mean, this is the perfect place to practice things. Though.
Yeah.
So.
I liked a couple of your pauses. So people like stopped and thought. I like that. Like they're putting it together, not just listening and going on to the next voice. Heather.
How many of you here have headaches? You have one today? Have you had a headache in the past? Oh, come on. There has to be more than just two of you that have had headaches. Guess what? I am Heather Stevens from Willow's Bend Therapeutic Massage, and I can sometimes help out with those headaches, taking get rid of them so that you don't have to deal with them anymore. How does that sound? Give me a shout. Let me get you all sorted out.
That's great.
Yeah.
Any feedback?
Mm-hmm.
Heather.
I
I like
the-
headaches because that pretty much catches everybody.
Mm-hmm, it does. I like the last sentence you said, catch me. Is that what it was? That was good. Or hit me up at, I'll help you.
Well, it's always, I change up my thing all the time. I don't think
Mhm.
David, you haven't heard me say the same thing exactly the same way each time. It's a lot of the public speaking that I've been doing in the past. And
Mhm.
as long as I know my subject head, I can kind of like rearrange words here and there. So that's what I usually do.
David, do you want to go?
No, I don't, but I'm gonna want to give everybody some pointers on this, okay? Because I've been around a minute and I've watched this happen, and I've seen people make or break their entire membership off of their soundbite. So I'm going to give you 5 points to remember when you're developing your soundbite and you're doing it right. And Heather's right, developing a variety is when it's not one of my points, but developing a variety and a flow is where you need to focus on. So it comes out in a genuine way, because remember, we're about relationships. So when you say something that like, this is my passion to get this done for my clients and my prospects and so on, for you, because you may be one in both. So you wanted to kind of flow, and you want people to know who you are at the same time. So you have to feel some sort of passion in putting it out there. But this is the number one thing. I'm going to give it to you 5 different ways. 1, scare tactic. Somebody did a scare tactic, Sandra, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And, I like a cliffhanger, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm doing my property management soundbite, I'll say something like, hey, listen, if your tenant doesn't pay rent, is it legal for you to take their 65-inch television out of their living room and hold it as ransom?
Yeah, that's good.
So people are like, I want to know the answer to that. Well, if you want an answer to that, then, do a face-to-face with me. We'll sit down and talk about that. So I'll do a cliffhanger. By the way, the answer to that is yes. It's called a landlord's lien. And it has to be put into the lease in capital letters and written in there. So in the state of Texas, you can take it. It's not stolen if they know who stole it. So you have to document you took it and for what reasons or whatever. So a cliffhanger is good. A good scare tactic is good. Are you prepared for retirement? If you left this earth today, how is your family better off without you? Are you covered with enough insurance? Everybody has insurance, but you need it evaluated, right? Make sure, because things happen. You have additional kids, you buy more assets, you acquire more debt. So health insurance, life insurance, a scare tactic I like to put in there.
Okay.
All right. So, and Sandra, I think you did that very well. The other one is the ask, right? So the ask, whenever you do the ask, you want to make sure to qualify people in the room. And I've heard a few people say that, Michael put in, the scare tactic of, are you hearing stuff in the middle of the night? That would scare me. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. And I'm still going to have Michael come over and check the house, right? So the scare tactic is good, but he's qualifying everybody in the room. When he asked that question, you were like, did I hear something last night when I was trying to sleep? So that's one reason to do the ask, because you're qualifying people in the room. Even if they're not in the room, I might have, on my way to the meeting, had a conversation with my neighbor, and he was like, hey man, I found a snake in my yard. Did you? And I'm really going to be thinking about Michael at that point. So the other one is case studies. People want to know how you've helped other people. You can say, hey, listen, I had a client this week and we did a refinance, and the mortgage interest rate, listen, it came down from this to this. We saved him this amount of money. He was able to cash out a little money to do this and make improvements here and there. And people are thinking about themselves. So I want to know your successes. You know, where have you helped clients in the past? So a case study within your soundbite is good. And it's also good to change it up. Use all these. The second and last one is your value add. So you might want to put in there, this week, I'm doing free consultations. I'm doing free evaluation on your entire portfolio this week. Anybody that wants an evaluation, no charge, I'll look it over. They might be in a great spot. I might be able to give them some good advice. You know, we'll make some suggestions on how to go forward with that. If you can't offer free, because a lot of people free is just, you know, they're not a nonprofit, offer 20% off. Offer a Master Networks only special for you and your referrals. You know, any sort of value add, you know, put it in there someplace. And the other one is utilize the FOMO, is what I like to call it, fear of missing out. Put an expiration date on something. And also say, what if, you know, and that goes back to the scare tactic. You know, what if this happened to you today? You know, what if I can show you how to make more money and with less time commitment? I mean, there's some curiosity there. What if you can make the same money on the network you already have, and you don't have to acquire more customers? I can show you how to increase your bottom line at the end of the month. Would you be interested in sitting down and talking to us? So those are the 5 things: scare tactic, your ask, qualifying people in the room, a case study each time, a value add, and utilizing the what if, the fear of missing out. And if you do that, then you'll be able to refine a few different sound bites that will work each week.
Thanks, David. Now on to what we're going to talk about this week. It is creating raving fans. Last week we talked about how we could help other people and boost them, like Mike Matthews that we're doing on Facebook. There's one yesterday that's really struggling, that I boosted them out, that they need more business. So we have to remember, with Master Networks, people are going through this pandemic. They're having lots of things that are going on, and sometimes we don't even know what's going on in their lives or businesses, so we can help them. But this week I wanted to talk about creating raving fans for you. So I'm going to share my screen and talk. I just kind of glazed over this last week, but creating raving fans and 7 strategies for creating raving fans. I want to go over what the topic is, or the point is, the strategy, and then I'm going to throw it for open discussion. So the first strategy is to give more than you promote. So in Master Networks, how can you give more than what you promote with your business? What are a couple of ideas? I don't mean pulling out your wallet and giving hundreds of dollars to someone. How
Well,
can
for
you
me, it's like, I mean, because all of my stuff is usually time-based. For me, I actually offer them not only just the hands-on time, but I also take the time to educate them. So this actually helps them understand that I'm not looking at having them on my table, 7 days a week, every waking hour, just to make them feel better. It's a relationship where here's some skills that I'm going to teach you to keep you off of my table, because your ultimate goal as somebody receiving my services is to stay off my table. Granted, yes, I do want you on my table, because then that way I make money, but on that same note, I want to make sure that you are getting better, because otherwise I'm not doing my job right.
Mhm.
So you said developing relationships with people, which Heather is amazing at, by the way. And also education to help keep people off of my table, because eventually Heather's going to be overrun with people, and she's going to either have to make a choice to stay local, or she's going to have to hire people to do what she does, right? So that education piece is going to be very important in the future for her to educate people, to keep people off of her table, because she's going to want high dollar people paying for that time that she's giving. What is another way to give more than you promote?
Christy, I got an example. I'm not sure it fits, but so when doing pest control services, I teach the techs all the time. We can spray, we can do the things we do, but a lot of times there's homeowner or business things they can do that will affect the outcome. And a lot of times it's stuff they didn't even know about. It may be like leaky hose bibs, gaps in around the windowsill, stuff like that. But pointing out things that they can work on that will help with the cause. You know, I don't know exactly how that fits in, but always looking for ways to help the customer when we're there. Other than what we're doing.
And I can see that being helpful, because if somebody didn't notice that it was leaking, or somebody didn't notice that there was that gap, you just alerted them to the gap, so that therefore they can go to, you know, either repair it themselves, or they can turn around and say, hey, do you know of anybody that can help me with this? And because of the fact that you've been meeting all of these folks from Master Networks, you'll have.
I know a great handyman service in Waco that I could recommend.
Yep.
And that's one thing that Mike has been doing. Like, I've noticed, like, I'm trying to give him more than what I'm promoting. I got him on my podcast. I've been trying to share stuff that I stole from Heather, actually. She did it, and I just stole it and put it on my page. And then I noticed once I started doing that with Mike, he started sharing my stuff. He sees somebody that needs some handyman work done in Bell County or Waco, he's promoting. So he's promoting me. So he's definitely giving more than he promotes. He's taking that extra half a millisecond to hit share, like, or he comments on everything. Heather does the same thing. She's way better at it than I am. Like, she's always doing that. And then she's always recommending people in some of the big pages in the Bell County area. So she's giving more than she ever promotes. I see Heather and Mike both working on helping others. And I also see it starting to come back to them. It's beautiful. Any other ideas?
You want my phone number or my email?
Well, also, one other thing is definitely make sure you get your face-to-face in, because if you don't, how do you know what exactly I do? I actually refused a patient today because she was looking for relaxation massages. I am not a relaxation massage therapist. But if you didn't do a face-to-face with me, how do you know exactly what I do? And that's why, you know, it is time consuming. I realize that. However, when you get to know who other people are, they can become raving fans, as well as you becoming a raving fan of theirs. And you'll understand them better. Also, a lot of times, groups like this, there are some people that will have that shy moment. They won't tell you exactly what is in their head, and they won't tell you everything. So therefore, if you get them on their own, you can kind of pull this stuff out of them and find out more about them.
Thank you, Heather. So true. Another thing is to always leave the members or clients in a better place. How can you leave members of Master Networks in a better place?
Well, I like putting these hands all over people, and that helps them get in a really good place.
I'm not going to do that.
You might go to jail.
Yeah.
could be the most simple thing. A hug. I know it's COVID. I hug Heather every time I see her though. A high five. It could be a smile. They could be having a rough day. It could be a word of encouragement. It could be a thank you. I heard Janie and Vern the other day talking about somebody that had given them a shout out and how they were just raving about the shout out. And they actually got 2 customers from the shout out because, and I might be using the wrong word, Heather and David, the shout outs at the end of Master Networks. That shout out gave them validity and kind of pushed them up. And so they actually, from those 2 customers, they got a new person that sold under them. So like something as simple as going, I've used Patrick. He's amazing. Like the shots he took blew my mind. It could be something simple like that to leave people in a better place. Plus they're going away from that meeting feeling like $1 million, right? And it took us 2 seconds to say. How else can we leave them in a better place?
Well, a lot of times we also tend to point out faults with people. But do we ever point out the good points on people? And a lot of times, even with the reviews that we'll see online, which ones stand out the most? Usually it's the bad ones. We've got enough bad feedback in our own head. Don't run to it. Basically, even if you're giving them constructive criticism, it's what, wasn't right, but what did you do right? And point out those strong points.
Exactly. I used to go around speaking to service coordinators throughout the state of Texas, and I had thousands of people. It was back in the day when we give them that piece of paper and they fill it out, right? Thousands of people said she did an amazing job, but one guy or gal, I don't know, it was anonymous, said, why doesn't she pull out a gun and blow, blow, blow? That's the one I remember, right? Thousands of people left reviews, but I remember that bad one. So those positive, uplifting words of encouragement, instead of talking about faults, you talk about good things. Like it can change somebody's life for the better. You can change the trajectory of their day.
I was going to say leaving a Google review, but that kind of goes along with number 1 as well.
Exactly. Facebook review, Yelp review. I mean, there's a ton of different kinds of reviews, isn't there, Sammy?
There are just about anywhere that you can think of. I mean, there's even more that's being built now. That I spoke with a CFO the other day, and he had his own program that he was using that automatically sends out to the people he talks to, and then that places it on his own website automatically. So yeah, there's anywhere that they can get help or give help, please do so.
Exactly. The next one, number 3, is using that principle of creating jackpots and variable reinforcements. How can you create a jackpot with the other members of Master Networks? How can you have some sort of, like that psychology term, variable reinforcements? You could reinforce a particular behavior, like a jackpot tip here. Think about when you go, back in the day when we go to a casino and we pull that lever and all these pennies would come out, because that's the only slot I'd ever pay is the penny slot. And I get 1,000 pennies. I'm just so excited. But seriously, what am I going to do with that? I was so excited. What can you do with what you do and not give, the horse away? How could you create surprises and bonuses for other Master Network members so that they're always coming back to you?
One thing I know that a lot of us do is we do give out information. We talk to people, and it isn't just with Master Networks, but because of the fact that we're, for some of us, we do meet in person. So we get to know people. And when we know that they're having some sort of issue, we'll turn around and say, hey, did you look at this? And it cost us absolutely nothing to say something like that, but it might help them out a ton because we all come from a little bit different of a location. As many of you know, I'm the AV tech for Belton. Yes, David, I'm giving myself the title. But a lot of people, if they don't know how to set something up and they came over and said, how did you do that? I'd walk them through it, not a problem. And yeah, it isn't even my field, but it would create, in some senses, a jackpot for somebody else because they'll know how to do it. And maybe this they can apply to their business.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. David, how many people have come to you and asked you how to run a Zoom meeting? I've probably had close to 100 that I sit there and I walk them through it. You've had way more than that. Like, how do you do this? I struggle and I'm like, David, how do we do the breakout rooms every week?
Christy, would some simple examples be not necessarily a jackpot, but thank you for the kind post and just thank you. Handwritten, I don't do it, but I hear handwritten thank you can go along with it.
Yeah.
Another thing is you could add a value add to Master Network members, like a free consultation, or like Heather, I've seen her bring her chair, and I don't know if you charge for it or not, but somebody would be like, man, I have something in my back, but I don't have time for an hour. She'll pull out that stinking chair and she'll get her elbow out and she'll start working on them, and she does that kind of value add, that jackpot where people are like walking away going, okay, get it. She fixed me. So what could be that value add, that jackpot? Me, I give away hundreds a month in $25 gift cards. It doesn't cost me anything. I just give them to everybody I meet. I don't usually give them one. I say, here's 4. Take them and give them to your friends and family. They feel like they've won a jackpot because they got these free services, but there's a minimum.
And yeah, it's like, as you said, it's like sometimes I bring out the chair. However, I've also asked people to take photos of me in certain positions because I'll get a phone call from somebody I know and they're like, hey, I'm having an issue with this, but I can't have you come over because of, the sky is falling, whatever, so I tell them, okay, do these stretches, and I'll actually have somebody either videotape me or I'll have still lifes of me doing the stretches so that they can go, oh, that's it. So it does give, it gives that value to people.
Exactly. Any other ideas for jackpots?
I got these $25 coupons. I sell book of 3 for $25 a piece. That's a $75 value.
Yeah, exactly.
I need some more, by the way.
I will send them out to you. I'll get your address before we get off here, or put it in the chat.
Okay.
Those are all great ideas for that kind of jackpot. Now the next one, before I go on to the next one, I don't want to I feel like a lot of people miss this part. So let's give Dora some ideas for Jackpot. What could she do as a realtor?
I'll tell you one thing I do. I just thought of this as you were going on. Like if I get a referral, I do the handwritten thank yous and send a little gift card in there. And then for others like clients or whatever, I will do what we call a comparative market analysis on your home to show you what it would sell for.
Mhm.
And I tell you what, around tax time on your property taxes, when they're trying to go to the county and dispute those, I do a lot of them. So is there anything else I can do with those two things being said?
Well, also, I don't know if it's going to be as much of an effect in your area as it is in the clean area, but like around here in clean area, you have a lot of soldiers that their finances, well, they weren't very responsible individuals. So when they go to actually go for that first house, they don't know, well, what can I afford? What can't I afford? And how can I make my credit better? So maybe either you yourself teaching them a little bit about how to repair their credit before they actually go for that first mortgage, or teaming them up with somebody that does know all of this stuff and get them to start getting their credit back on track so that they can go for that dream house that they've been looking for.
So, okay.
One of the things that we do is we have a book called, it's a pamphlet called How Money Works and How Money Works for Children, which is a parent's guide. And when we go meet them for the first time, we leave those with them so that they can read the information. And then we're going to talk about it when we go back for our second meeting, because we do a relationship building. We don't sell anything on the first visit. We go back because we want them to be comfortable with us, and they're more likely to do business with us.
Yeah.
And you saying that, one thing I used to do, I haven't in a while, but like if I meet with a buyer the first time, I have a little book or, a little folder with some papers in there to tell different things. But I used to also have like your little pamphlet in there, different things, and they can those. So anybody who would like to send me or, some of their pamphlets or whatever, I'll be happy to put it in there. In my,
That's probably the best, because real estate is tough because they're watching you and you don't want to discount your commission all the time.
right.
But you can't make certain recommendations, without raising an eyebrow. So, in there, you can offer everybody else's value add. So it's like, I know it's stressful buying a house. When you close, Heather has a discount for a massage and everything. Once you get moved in, after you move all that heavy furniture and everything, she'll give you 10% off because you're my customer. Or, if you need pest control, Michael has value add because you're my customer. And that gives them that adds more to what you have to offer because you're limited, but it also honors everybody in the chapter, and it makes that customer feel appreciated.
What about Patrick? What could be his jackpot?
Somebody needs an aerial photo of their brand new home. They can put that on their housewarming cards. They can go ahead and frame it. If it's real nice, they can frame it. Hey, this is our first home. This is where we had our children, built the family, and people want to be proud to have those things. So, I'm surprised people don't utilize that all the time. Family reunion photos. People are going to be needing to get those photos, wedding photos, aerial photos and everything, because once we get done with this pandemic, people can get together in a crowd, and those are keepsakes. Those are keepsakes.
Yeah.
One of the things
He
I'm gonna
really create, like, he's capturing those memories that will be gone forever.
yeah,
Well, also on that same note, Christmas time is here. And what is going to be best on a Christmas card that you're sending out to your family? That one perfect picture of you got, of the whole entire family in a field, getting that perfect shot that you can't get from a straight on view.
it adds so much depth and dimension when you do stuff like that.
Mhm.
I find if I can get 40, 50 feet in the air and take the same shot than taking it flat, it's just like, it's a totally different picture. So one thing I was going to do for, I'm actually going to do for Lydia is they're going to have a high school graduation for their GED people, and they're going to be doing it outside. And so I thought I could go out there and do a video of them throwing their caps in the air and stuff like
Mhm.
that. I mean, what high school is going to have that? And I mean, that's be very special for them, because that's something that not even high schools are going to have. So I'm going to do that for her for free, just because. So just, and then she'll, people will see that and get my name out there. So
Mhm.
What's something Sammy could do for a value add, jackpot or variable reinforcement?
I think for businesses, Sammy could do like almost a consultation, like a lot of people do. But a consultation, say, all right, where are you at on the Google search page? And say, if I did this, this, and this, these would be some really great things that would help boost you on that Google search, on that CEO or SEO. So, I mean, something like that, just maybe like a free consultation for business owners.
That's good. What about Mike? Like, he could just get a handful of mice and throw it at people? What could
I
he
don't
do?
think that'd go over well.
4 tips to keep mice out of your house.
Mhm.
Well, I know that the podcast they did with you, Christy, it actually did, it brought forth a lot of things that I didn't know about. So that information was definitely a good thing to get out there. So keep doing things like that.
Did you trim your trees? I did. I made Max do it. Roof rats, they're a real problem in Texas.
I don't trust myself on a ladder to go trim my trees, and my husband doesn't get home until January.
May the odds ever be in your favor. Or if not, I've got a good pest guy. I can give you his name and number. A couple of these are pretty simple. One is to run your business in an open and transparent way. If something goes awry, you're totally honest with the Master Networks member, and you use it as a way to keep building the relationship. I remember I had a roofer do a job one time in another networking group, and he messed up. He owned it. And he said, Christy, I'm sorry, but I'm going to take care of the customer. And he did. So he totally, even though he messed up, he owned it. He took care of it. And I still recommend him to this day. So being able to run your business in an open and transparent way. What's another kind of example of this?
Well, one of the things we do when we make a mistake, and it happens, I go pick up a bouquet of flowers and take them and tell them how sorry I am it was a learning experience. I mean, you go to Kroger and it's what, $15 for a little bunch of flowers, and they love them. Makes them remember.
Because most people don't own it.
No.
Having integrity helps a lot. You don't want to be telling your client one thing while you're, on the back end, you're trying to do something else that shortcuts it or provide yourself more money because you're duping your clients.
Yep.
Exactly.
I think everybody, not so much when you make a mistake, but every one of us that are especially in the service industry, is don't sell them something that they don't need.
Yeah.
And, just like Heather said, I'm not gonna, if I go to, a realtor comes to me and said, yeah, I want to do video and I want to do, 25 pictures and all this, and they show me a blank lot with, 30 acres and there's nothing on it. I'm like, well, I really don't think you need that. I'm like, I can get the same bang for your buck and I can just do a 12 shot aerial drone, photography session instead of doing $300, cinematic video. You don't need it. What am I going to capture? So again, and then people appreciate that. I had a lady that came to me this morning. She said, yeah, I need this lot done and I want 15 shots. And I look on it on Google and I'm like, yeah, you don't need that much. Sure, I want to sell it, but she's going to appreciate the fact that I'm not trying to just sell her everything I have to offer. And I'm doing her, like Sammy said, just conduct yourself with integrity, and they're going to come back and they're going to remember that stuff.
And also you have to always remember that not every single person is who you want to sell to. You have a certain group that you're looking at. Like for me, I don't do relaxation massage. And I tell people straight up, hey, if you're looking for a relaxation massage, you might want to go elsewhere. Plus, it's like I'm more expensive because I am a specialist in my field. So if you are dragging a leg behind you, yeah, you want to contact me. But if you're looking for full body, nice music, lots of lotion, smelly stuff, yeah, I'm not your gal.
And it's like, I've heard Bridget say many times, and you think about it, when you go to a car lot, right? You're going there to buy a car. But when that hawk comes out and he's like after you, right? And you're like, oh no, I just want to look at some cars, he's like, because just like Bridget always said, people want to buy, but they don't want to be sold to, right? I mean,
Right.
that's definitely, that's how we all feel. People go to stores every day because they want to buy something, but they don't necessarily want to be sold to. I'll let you know when I'm ready if I have questions.
Exactly.
Another thing is to always reward your best clients. Maybe you can give them special benefits, shout outs, offers, have some sort of value add to your clients. Those core people, like Heather was saying, not everyone's your core client, right? So that they receive something in addition. Because remember, if we go back to those 3 different kinds of relationships, ones you kind of anticipate their needs. So Dora, they're going to buy the home. What's some needs that they may have? What's something that you can add or reward your best clients with? She gives them a gift basket. So always remember to reward those best clients, because then they're going to tell 10 other people about you. Another way is a structure and system, but Master Networks already has a structure and system for you to create raving fans with the face-to-faces, with the shout outs, with the high energy meetings, so that you can continually build your raving fans through Master Networks if you work it right. There's several people. David, if we were here and we'd go through different members, we would say, okay, how are they doing? There's going to be some that they show up to the meetings or they don't show up to the meetings. They don't follow kind of the structure that Master Networks has put up, and they're not getting a lot of value out of it. But if they follow that structure, they do the face-to-faces, they actually add more value to other members, they're probably getting a pretty big return on their investment. And another thing is to give back in whatever way you can to your clients, the industry, or society as a whole. Does anybody have any kind of feedback on those last 3?
Well, giving back, I actually been helping out with the Coppers Cove group, Keep Coppers Cove Beautiful. And a lot of it is just donation of time. I've gone out and helped plant wildflowers recently. Next up is planting trees. And I mean, it has nothing to do with massage, but it's giving back to the community in which I live in. So doing the little things like that. I also remember that Chris Glenn, he actually has a staff member that lost her house. And he's looking at trying to raise money and try to get some belongings back so that she has a better Christmas this year, a better Thanksgiving this year. And it's little things like that that we can do, even if it's just like, hey, we've got all of these clothes that we were just going to donate anyways. We can give them to this individual.
Exactly. So that was just 7 strategies to create raving fans. Now, somebody that's created a lot of raving fans is Tony with Zappos. It is an industry, it's a shoe industry. And back in the day, if somebody would purchase shoes online, they get them home, they don't work, they could send them back for free, for full credit. I remember somebody telling a story one time of this lady about midnight calling Zappos and asking her Zappos person to get her pizza. And they were like, we're a shoe company, but they teach creating raving fans at Zappos. So hung up, got her address, all that kind of stuff. 45 minutes later, her and her 12 friends had a bunch of pizza delivered to them. It was all on her credit card through Zappos, mind you, but she did do it. So a lot of people ask Tony, how did you do this? And he says simply, he created the best customer service experience possible. And they call it their wow philosophy. So how can you create a wow philosophy for yourself, your business, and in master networks is the question. Anything else? Great training today, guys. It was all you. It was amazing. Thank you guys for sharing. You guys have an amazing week, and we'll see you next week on how to make the most of your Master Networks membership.